Hello guys, welcome. I am Samantha the Introvert, and today I want to give you my personal recap on episode 14 of the Next Sprint series. So let's get into it. Okay, it's the fencing competition. Boy, let me tell you, it got really intense in this game. Now, there were two different types of personality for the parent. Ramil's father, well, we all know that Ramil's father gets a little bit intense and angry when his son Ramil does not win. And Canny's father is happy both fail and winning. Ava and her father came to support, but it's mostly for Canning. Meanwhile, in the hospital, the king is there watching the competition as well. Honestly, I do feel it for Ramil because he's not doing this for himself. He only trying to please his father. Okay, the game has started, and so far Ramil was taking the lead, but then Canyon definitely gained the strength and won the game. When the game ended, Ramil was very sad, but noticed that Peitai was there in secret watching him, and he wanted to go to Peitai, but was summoned by his father. Canyon has a great support system. If anything, Shakri was the most emotional. I am glad that Shakri didn't die. Anyways, as usual, Ramil's father got very disappointed in Ramil's loss and hit him. Nothing Ramil does is going to ever please this man, and it is there that Ramil noticed as well. When Ramil finally understood that nothing he does and will ever make his father value him, Ramil decided that he will no longer tolerate the abuse anymore and tells his father that he will cut all ties from his father. He tells his father that he has nothing left in his life other than he shared the last name of his father, and that he will no longer stay and be under his father's control anymore, and he left. Sir, you abused your son so often. I'm surprised he didn't kill you. If you look at it, you deserve this karma. Meanwhile, at the hospital, the king, remembering the day he spoke to Canin and tells him how much he caused Canins to never have his mother. Basically, the king blames himself of what his grandson and son is going through. The greatest thing about Cannon is that he was raised with love. So even without the apology, the king would have still be forgiven. The king definitely stood by what he said. He died after the competition. He was very strict. He was a very strict king and a good one too. But honestly, he never really did anything to change Imali and died by the very same problem he never got to fix. The funeral was very private, and they buried the king in the palace of the courtyard. Only people knew about this attended was the three princes and their heir and heiress. I do feel it for Sharon because the only person was called his family was the king. Well, that's before Cannon, but now that he has Cannon, well, it's good too, but I do feel it for him. Here's what I'm not sorry for, Ramil's father. Because even at the funeral, Ramil's father tries to call to Ramil and got ignored. Which is right. Don't give this man the light of day. I don't feel sorry for him. The man is serving his karma and he's serving it well. After the death of the king, it is only natural that the son takes over. That and Canyon did win the competition, so Canyon fulfilled the dying king's wish. Reporters started interviewing Canyon, and now that Canyon is set to change Himalayan's, he is doing things his way, not by rules or going by the script. Even though going by the rules and the script has been the way of Shakri, Shakri goes by those rules. Being with Canyon and seeing how well Canyon has developed is what gets Shakri proud to even work alongside Canyon. It's what gets Shakri going. It's the ballroom dance, and when Canyon bravely went to ask to dance with Sharon, they are dancing as if they're the only person in the room. Then after the dance, Canyon left to get alone time, and Sharon obviously sees something is bothering his man, and he went to check on Canyon. The king came and asked Canyon what his problem, and even though Canyon didn't fully tell the problem, the king figured out what the problem is. Now, in case you don't know, These are Cannon's two problems. Cannon wants to stay and be with the love of his life, but also he wants to go back to London with his stepfather who raised him as a child. Meanwhile, Ramil finally went to see Petai. Petai asked Ramil how he knew where he was to find him. Ramil said that he knew where to find Petai through his paintings. Ramil then broke down and cried and also apologized to Petai for what he put him through and tells Petai that he has nothing now, indicating that he broke all ties from his royal life. Petai then looked at Ramil and said that Ramil still has him. They both left the royal abusive life to be together. Later, Sharon and Cannon went out for a little stroll like old times. I want to call it a mini date, but it's not. Sharon was being such a sugar daddy to the prince himself. Their love is for the books. I am telling you, Cannon and Sharon are one lovers in many languages. Everything was going great, was being romantic, they even kissed, but we had one little problem. Cannon tells Sharon that he decided that he wants to go back to London with his stepfather, and Sharon wishes to stay and fulfill his duties as the guard of the king. It is sad that the relationship is put to the test, but Cannon respected Sharon's choice. Cannon then tells Sharon he loves him, but Sharon finds it hard to say it back. So Cannon says that when Sharon gets the courage to say he loves him back, that is the day Sharon will know where he wants to where he wants to go with his heart. Either it's Imali or Cannon himself. Then we see Prince Calvin watching the news about Cannon, and he sees how well Cannon is slowly changing the world. Then he got a text from Jay asking if they can meet and talk. We then see at night, Jay is actually eating ramen and seeing an ad about laser ear removal. Sir, where exactly do you want to remove your ear? Like what? You know what? I don't get how you text somebody and then you're staying at night not realizing you're supposed to meet somebody. Prince Calvin came, not sure how he escaped, but anyways, they talking and Calvin spoke on how he came to wanting to study at Imali. He explained that he never wanted to go to study painting. It was his parents' idea, but when he met Jay and get to know Jay, he fell in love with Jay. This confession shocked Jay, but Jay also admits that he likes Calvin too. They both express their love. Now, they don't get much screen time on this drama, but that's okay, because Net and JJ will actually have their own drama coming soon. This part is so cute. Having Cannon with him is the best thing the father could ever ask for. He felt so alive when he's with somebody he actually misses and love. Now, Cannon did come to talk to the man though. Cannon tells his father that he wants to go back to London where he lived with his stepfather. And it is sad to see that his son wanted for years, longed for years, wants to not stay with him. Instead, he understands the decision and accepts Cannon's decision. Originally, the plan is to let Cannon come to do competition, win the competition, and regain the throne. And once that has been fulfilled, there is no use for him. Well, not until the next many years when Cannon has his turn to take the throne. The day of the time to leave has come. Sharon gifted Cannon a necklace made out of the very pearl that Cannon loves. It's going to be hard for them because they will have to be going through a long-distance relationship. Hey, you think the king knew of their love, their relationship? I mean the previous king. Do you think he knew? Then we see Shakri. He decided he wants to go with Cannon to London. Yes, Shakri has grown so goodly attached to Cannon that he decided that he wants to travel with Cannon. The man is dressed for Harry Potter London. They both give off a brother-in-law vibes because they both care for Canon, but Shakri cares for Canon in a brotherly way, while Sharon cares for Canon in a lover's way. But when they got to London, Shakri is then told that royalty stuff is not okay. They must be treated and act as equal, which poor Shakri is not used to. Cannon calls Sharon very often, and then they would talk as usual. Cannon will express how much he misses and loves Sharon. On this particular phone call, Sharon slipped up and almost gave away his surprise. See, the thing is, Sharon was already at the airport going to Cannon, but he wanted to surprise Cannon. When Cannon said he misses Sharon, Sharon almost told Cannon that he literally is on his way to him. Cannon then FaceTimed his bestie, Ava, and Ava telling Cannon about how Sharon gained bigger position in the kingdom. Ava doesn't really know much about information on Sharon, but regardless, Homegirl says she misses Cannon. I do hope Cannon go back to visit his father. After that FaceTime call, Cannon tries to call Sharon but did not get any answers. Remember, Sharon is at the airport, so at this point, he's probably on the plane, so that is why he can't answer, but Cannon doesn't know that. This man really came early to watch his love of his life sleeping. It's cute though. After waking up Sleeping Beauty, Cannon had to check real good to see if this is real or a dream. Sharon tells Cannon how he got to be there. Well, firstly, Sharon told his friend that he's planning to quit the guard life of the king, which to wet this sounds a little bit hard and a difficult plan. Now, even I thought it was difficult to do because we're talking about royalty here. They make the rules, not the other way around. But regardless, Sharon went to the king and tells the king that he wishes to quit the job and pursue things from the heart. In other words, go to London to be with his lover. The king is very understanding. He told Sharon that he can do what he feels is best and that the choice of guarding him was never Sharon's choice. And now that he is there to change the rules, he doesn't want to hold anyone against their will. I feel like Sharon knew going to the king with that request was a risk, but it was a risk he was willing to take and he got approved. I swear, not a day goes by that they don't get close to having sex, but got interrupted by the stepfather. The stepfather then revealed that he knew of Sharon's arrival, but didn't tell Cannon because it was to be a surprise. Sharon even got approved to be a part of the family when Sharon refers to the stepfather as father. Well, he said dad, but still the same. Now, they're all like a big family. Shakri is just new to the addition. I do feel for the king, the real father, though, because he's there in that kingdom all alone. It's picnic time and Shakri out here watching a BL drama. You know what drama that his boy is watching? Let me tell you. Now, if my memory serves me right, this drama is called Naughty Babe. Shakri introduced the drama to the lovebirds here, but they ended up taking over the phone and watching the show. But that's okay. Shakri has no problem because in real life, he's actually experiencing the BL in front of his face. Cannon is looking up some places to take Sharon on a date because let's be honest, when Sharon went to London, he only went for only one mission, and that is to fulfill the duty to take Cannon to the palace. But Sharon said he only wants to go one place, then kissing on Cannon. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Sharon wants to tour inside of Cannon. That is the only place that Sharon is privately okay to tour. His own little private area. I was kicking and screaming for this part because in this scene, there were 3 English sentences spoken. One is where Cannon tells Sharon to beg by saying please. Second is when Sharon actually says please. The last one is when Sharon says, I miss you, good boy. Every time we reaches the NC scene for these two, I keep forgetting how intense they can go. And can you imagine Ned and JJ? Now, just curious though. Now, how thick is them walls? Because I know sounds are very intense in that house and room. Just want to know. Now, before I continue, let me apologize for my indecent language in Jamaican accent. Let's continue. This motherfucker right here, so the man making one fucking lubricant. The man slabber him fucking. Me done. Me fucking done. Oh no, that can't erase in my brain. It never got erased in my brain. Now, where the hell is this? Because this is not the house in London. It can't be that big. Now, all of a sudden, Sharon showed Cannon the very ring his father gave his mother to marry him. Now that we acknowledge what that ring symbolized, we got on one knee and proposed. Let me tell you, if a person proposed to you with a family ring, best believe you are way more special. This love will forever be in the romance book of Imali Library. If there is going to be a special, I wish to see the wedding and the wedding life and hopefully family if they choose to have family. Okay, guys, that is my final recap on this drama. I do hope you like the recap. I also hope you enjoyed the drama in itself. And with that, I bid you farewell.